Hello, students. I hope you are all well. Today we are going to read the poem How to Tell Wild Animals from your textbook First Flight. Before we read this poem, let's learn something about our poet. Carolyn Wells was an American poet. She also wrote short story and novels. She was mainly famous for her mystery novel writings and her children literature. The verses or poems that she had written mainly could be included in the genre of nonsense verse. Now let's look at this phrase nonsense verse. Do you know what it is? Do you remember that you have read a poem by Edward Lear named Duck and the Kangaroo, both in your class 8 and 9? That poem, while reading that poem, I've also encountered this phrase, nonsense verse. Now, what does it mean actually? Nonsense means something that does not have any logical meaning. Then, what is nonsense verse? A poem or text, in this case, obviously, a poem that is written mainly to entertain the imaginativeness of young children, which might not have any proper ironclad logic also. You remember that in that poem Duck and Kangaroo, the two animals were conversing among each other and making plans to tour the world, which was not properly logical. Now let's see in this poem. This is a humorous poem. The word humorous means obviously funny, and this poem in this poem the poet gives us some pointers, gives us some advices to identify the see the poem's name is How to Tell Wild Animals. Here the word tell means identify, to identify. So the poet gives us some pointers to identify the wild animals. Now you may be thinking that what could be funny about identifying dangerous wild animals? That is why that is what we would have to understand, we would have to make out when we read the poem. So the poet employs some techniques which makes the identification of dangerous beast funny. Let's start reading this poem. In the first stanza you can see a portrait of a lion in the right side, and the stanza also gives us some pointers about how to identify a lion. If ever you should go by chance to jungles in the east, and if there should you advance a large and tawny beast, if he roars at you as you are dying, you will know it is the Asian lion. Let's see, the poet at first is giving some proper identification ideas. She is saying that lion is a large and tawny beast, which actually helps us to identify the lion. Large means what is tawny. Tawny refers to a color which is yellow, brownish yellow, or you might say that brownish orange color, the color of the skin of a lion. And see another thing, the poet is not stopping there. She is not only saying that the animal which could be found in the jungles of the east, like in Asia, and the animal is large and tawny and he roars. These things are actual logical identification marks. But the poet adds up that if the lion is roaring at you when you are dying, then you will know it is Asian lion. So here comes the humor. When if you are lying, if you are dying, then it won't make any sense to you, because it won't be serving you any purpose to identify the beast, because you will be already dead. In the second stanza, the poet is giving us, advising us how to identify another dangerous wild beast, that is a Bengal tiger. Or if sometime when roaming round, a noble wild beast greets you with black stripes and yellow ground, just notice if he eats you. This simple rule may help you learn the Bengal tiger to discern. So, if you are roaming somewhere in the jungle, which itself is kind of absurd, because if it is a forest, if it is a dangerous forest, you won't go there for your evening walk. So, perhaps you have gone there, you are roaming around, and the noble wild beast greets you. This line is, in a way, both humorous and also a proper adjective, because see, the tiger is often called the king of the jungle, not king of the jungle, but a royal beast. A tiger is often called a royal beast, so that is why the word noble is used, because tiger is a royal beast. And it is also humorous because this beast is very dangerous, and if you meet a tiger, it will surely kill you and eat you. So the word noble, which means very gentle in a sense, does not work here. So it is, the word is used both as an proper adjective and also another humorous adjective, because the nobility, the characteristics of nobility does not actually apply in this case, because the beast is going to kill you. The third line gives us proper identification marks, because the tiger's body is actually yellow normally with black stripes. So this line actually helps us to identify the tiger. But the poet again isn't stopping there. She is adding the fact that notice if he eats you. So as if the beast do not, if the beast does not eat us up till that point, we won't be able to identify, and only when it eats us we will be able to know surely that it is a tiger. So there again, the poet is, this humor does not is I this humor isn't actually logical, so therefore it is forming a nonsense verse. And the poet is saying this is a simple rule. So the rule that a dangerous tiger will eat you is simple, and that will help you learn to know the Bengal tiger. But again, this rule will not help you, because by the time you have identified the animal, you will be already dead. The third stanza shows again another dangerous beast, a leopard. If strolling forth a beast you view, whose hide with spots is papered, you will know it is the leopard. It will do no good to roar in with pain. He will only leap and leap again. In this stanza, you have to understand a few things. First, see the word hide. You know, the word hide here means skin. So, not the verb hide, which means uh, to make yourself uh, invisible, but here the word hide actually is noun, which means the skin. With spots is papered. uh, just look at the use of this word. When the poet was describing the tiger, she couldn't have said that the body of the tiger is peppered with stripes. No, that is not possible. But see, the pepper, the word pepper is actually coming from the spice pepper, which is roundish, and the spots in leopard's body is also round. So that is why here the word peppered actually means covered. The leopard body is covered with round spots, round black spots, which looks like pepper. As soon as he has leapt on you, you will know that it is the leopard. It will do no good to roar with pain, he will only leap and leap again. The poet is using the same technique. She is not stopping with logical identification marks. She could have only said that this is a dangerous beast whose hide is peppered with spots. But no, she is not stopping there. She is saying that until and unless it leaps on you, you will not be able to know. So as soon as he has leapt on you, you will know it is a leopard. So as if the main criteria of identifying a leopard is to wait until the leopard leaps on you. Now see here another thing, the poet is spelling these two words incorrectly. Leapt is actually the word leaped, the past tense of leap, and this word leap is actually leap. So why does the poet spell these two words incorrectly? Does she know the doesn't she know the proper spelling? No, obviously that is not the case. I will again refer back to the poem Duck and the Kangaroo. You remember in that poem there was a word rheumatiz, which was actually a misspelling of the word rheumatism. So then also you have learned that the word was written on that wrong manner, on that mistaken manner, to keep up with the rhyme scheme and also to entertain. Just like see, sometimes the words in our surrounding life are written in a different manner to attract the attention. You will see that when you see an ambulance, you will see the word ambulance is written in a roundabout manner. It is written from back to front. So why is that? To attract the attention of the people. Here also in this nonsense verses, the poets are employing that technique of misspelling to entertain the young readers. So here also this and also another reason is to keep up with the rhyme. Now this is a device that is called poetic license, where a poet is allowed to misspell the words to rhyme, to keep up the rhyme scheme. Here, so here that is why the poet wants to keep the rhyme going, and that is why she is misspelling these two words and also by that entertaining our intellectual matter. The fourth beast that Calvin Wells talks about is a bear. She's saying, if when you are walking around your yard, you meet a creature there who hugs you very, very hard, be sure it's a bear. If you have any doubts, I guess he'll give you just one more caress. Again, see, so the type of dangerous beast is actually changing. The first three animals you see are normally found in deep forest. The lion, the tiger, and the leopard do not normally come inside the locality, but a bear you might find in some village areas which are near to the forest. So if in such an area you are strolling around, you are going in your backyard where there probably a lot of trees are there, you might meet a bear. So the bear's main feature is that it hugs you very, very hard. As you know that the bear is a very strong animal. So the bear doesn't attack you with his fangs like the other predators. It doesn't bite you or eat you in that manner like tigers and lions and leopards. But the most dangerous quality of a bear is his strength. So if a bear hugs you, I can see how opposite in manner, how oxymoronic is it is, because normally whom do we hug? The people we like, the people we love. So we normally hug to show our affection. But in this case, if a bear hugs you in that manner very tightly, then probably the person the bear is hugging will end up dead. And also the poet is again taking it up to a notch far. She's saying that if you still have any doubt, so the bear is hugging you, you're getting hurt, but still if you have any doubt that no, probably it is not the bear, then probably the bear will give you one more caress. Again, notice the word caress. Care is to showing someone physical affection the way you do with a child or your loved ones. So the bear will uh, behave with you in a manner which normally we do with our loved person, but that caress, that affection will kill you. The last three wild animals in this poem are actually very different from the first four ones. Okay, the fifth stanza gives us a hyena and a crocodile. These two animals' behavior are quite different from each other and equally deceptive. So why am I saying that these animals are different from the other animals? Because the manner of attacking of a leopard or a lion or a tiger is never deceptive. It's pretty straightforward. If these kinds of predators find something they want to hunt, they will attack directly. But a hyena and or a crocodile, they are both deceptive. How? The hyena is famous for its laugh. See, the poet is also saying, let's just read the stanza. Though to distinguish beasts of prey a novice might nonplus, the crocodile you always may tell from hyena thus. Hyenas come with merry smiles, but if they weep, they're crocodiles. So, hyenas come with merry smiles. Again, see, when do we smile? The word merry itself means happy. And we only smile or laugh to show our happiness or our excitement. And when we weep, when we cry, when we are sad. So both these animals decept its prey by their behavior. A hyena, if you have seen or heard it in Discovery Channel, or you can just Google it, go to the YouTube and listen to it. The hyena's laugh, if you cannot see the animal but can hear the sound, it almost sounds like a human laugh, a merry, raucous laugh. But see, if some person is laughing or smiling, we do not perceive that human as dangerous, right? If someone is smiling by looking at you, we perceive that that person is very friendly. But if a hyena is laughing, then that actually makes the hyena even more dangerous because it will not hesitate to kill its prey in a brutal manner. The crocodile is also the same. There is a very famous saying that crocodile tears, shedding crocodile tears. And we all know that this phrase means to cry fake tears or to show fake emotion. So, if a crocodile is gobbling up its prey and tears are coming out from its eyes, it does not mean that the crocodile is sad. It is just fake tears. And a novice, see the use of the words novice means someone new, someone inexperienced. So an inexperienced person, if they see a crocodile weeping, they might think that the animal is actually kind despite its hideous look. So they actually might think that if the animal is weeping, it might have some emotion inside, but that is not actually the case. A crocodile, despite its weeping or crying, it will not hesitate to gobble up its prey. So the tears of crocodiles are fake as hyenas laugh. There is another different word, nonplus. The word nonplus means confused. Okay, so a novice, an inexperienced person, if they meet an hyena or a crocodile, they might be confused about their nature, but actually, uh, even though the hyena smiles many smiles in a very jolly manner, or the crocodile weep like they are very sad, these things are actually very deceptive and they kill their prey in a brutal manner. Now let's come to the last stanza. This also portrays a wild beast, though not as dangerous as the previous ones. But there is one similarity. of it with the hyena and the crocodile. And a chameleon is also a deceptive animal. But unlike hyena and crocodile, the uh, chameleon is devised by nature in that manner. Let's read the stanza. The true chameleon is small, a lizard sort of thing. He hasn't any ears at all and not a single wing. If there is nothing on the tree, it is the chameleon you see. Now, we all have seen lizards in our home, the small creatures, small reptiles that move here and there inside our home. Chameleon is something like that with a little difference. The structure of a chameleon is exactly like a crocodile, though a little longer. But chameleons also have another capability. They can change their color at will. So I already told you that chameleon is also a deceptive beast. That is why when we talk about a person who is dishonest, who behave differently in different situations, we call them a chameleon. Why? Because they change their appearances, they change their behaviors at their will. Just like a chameleon who who can disguise their skin color, who can disguise themselves according to the surrounding, which is deceptive. Now, why does a chameleon do it? For two reasons. Okay, so this capability of a chameleon both helps it to prey and to save himself from other predators that might hurt it. Like if a chameleon is disguising itself like a branch of a tree, so a prey bird will not be able to see it and eat it. But again, if something that probably a insect on which the chameleon preys on comes near the branch, it will also not know that the chameleon is waiting there, so the chameleon will be able to prey on it very easily. So this capability of disguising itself, of changing its color at his will, helps the chameleon both to save itself from the other predators and to prey on its own food. So, and it is the chameleon has such a natural capability of disguising itself that the poet is saying that if on a tree branch nothing could be seen, it is because probably a chameleon is already there. So the chameleon will change its body color according to the color of the branch, and it will blend itself in such a good manner that we will not be able to identify it. Now see, there is another contracted form here, tease. So tease means it is, just like we say it's, or we say it is. So it is contracted form. The contracted form of it is used here as tease, again to keep up the rhyme. So that's all for the poem. I hope you have understood it. Just go through the poem, try to understand the devices. How, see, there are many devices used here, like uh, enjambment is used here because the lines are continuing without any punctuation mark, and personification is used here because the poet is using pronouns to discuss about the animals, and he is also assigning human qualities to the animals, like hugging or caressing or laughing or weeping, things like that. So this is a very beautiful and easy poem, and it is very very humorous, and I hope you have understood that why it is called a nonsense verse. That's all for today. We will meet with the next video.